Good evening, viewers.
Good evening.
All right, it is Monday. It is 6 p.m., and we are ready to do all things Green Table Talk.
We're ready to green table talk.
All right, so before we get started, I want to make sure everyone can hear and see us okay. So if you will let us know in the chat, please, that you can hear us and that you can see us okay, because we have some great information that we want to share with you all. It's actually a part
two.
Part two.
Two-part series on caring for your loved one, your senior loved one, who may be experiencing signs of Alzheimer's or dementia. So yes, this is the second part. Last week we talked about, we talked about the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia, and then we talked about what those signs look like. So if y'all missed it, all you have to do is go back and watch the replay, and please put replay in the comments and you can catch that segment and get caught up.
All right, so this has been a hot topic. It's been requested, most viewed, and so we want to bring what's hot to you all, hot on the press for you all, things that you all may be facing with taking care of your loved one and trying to make sure you make the right decision. So that is why we're here. That's why we do what we do. So please check out our last two Monday lives. So again, mic check 1, 2, 3, because I didn't see anybody put anything in the chat. If you would, please let us know if you can hear us and see us okay, because we're about to get started. All right, so I think we're ready. So let me formally introduce ourselves. Hello and welcome to the Green Table Live Talk Show. I am your co-host, Jessica Wright.
And I'm Ishonda Blue.
And we are your senior care experts and your co-hosts, again, of the Green Table Live Talk Show. And so we are here. We're here every Monday at 6 p.m. The reason for the talk show, while we're doing what we do, is because we want to sound the alarm. We want to make sure individuals who are taking care of their loved ones or preparing to take care of your loved one, that you know all the ins and outs, the 411, on how to plan for senior care. What are the options? What are the do's and what are the don'ts? And so we're here to give information, value on how you can take care of your loved one by staying at home or in the community longer and doing it cost effective.
That's right.
That is the reason for the Green Table Live Talk Show. So we always have new viewers. Every time we chime in on Mondays, our viewers grow and we have new viewers logging in. So I encourage you all to continue to share this on your platform, continue to tag family caregivers, because we are giving information and value on senior care. So continue to do that. And Ishonda, can you share with our viewers who we are and what we do?
Yeah, so we are registered nurses. We are your senior care experts. We've been doing this for combined together, I think we said,
over 40 years.
Over 40 years. Like, I'm like scared 40, to say that. Yeah. I'm scared to say it. We've been doing this 40? We've combined. We've been doing this for over 40 years. We love seniors. This is our passion. This is our ministry. But we started our business 17 years ago because of our grandmother, who could no longer stay home by herself. And what she told us was she didn't want to go to a nursing home. And so that is how and why we started our business. And our mission is to improve the lives of seniors by keeping them in their home or community longer, therefore preventing them from having to go to a nursing home, keeping them in their home or their community longer. So that is who we are. That is what we do. And that is why we do it. Now, what we do is we have adult day centers throughout South Georgia. We also provide transportation to our adult day centers. And we have a 24 bed personal care home in Albany. So that's what we do.
And just to add a cherry on top, while we, again, if that doesn't solidify us, we also have done 10 plus years in in-home care. So we have done every community-based service. So we can tell you about being taken care of in your home, going into the community, going into a facility. We have
done it all.
Yeah. And so we just, again, we want to share our expertise here on the Green Table Live Talk Show. And so just a little bit about who we are, what we do, and why we are the senior care experts. So let's get down to business.
We're talking about if you're caring for a loved one that may have Alzheimer's or dementia. And like I said, last week we talked about what those signs were. Mm-hmm. This week we want to talk about now, when's it time to intervene? When is it time to take action?
Yes.
What are some of those crucial legal steps you need to take? So we have 4 tips. We're going to jump right on in. We have 4 tips on what are some next steps. Once you know for sure, that your loved one may be experiencing signs of Alzheimer's or dementia, what should you do? So what should they do, Jessica? What should be the first step?
I think the first step is getting an evaluation. Seek medical evaluation. This will confirm some things for you. This will confirm some diagnosis, whether it's dementia, Alzheimer's. What should you be doing? What should you be looking for? What medications we can get started the individual on. So my first thing I would say seek a medical evaluation.
That is number 1. Seek medical attention and get them properly diagnosed, because also funding follows those diagnoses. So what we see a lot of times is sometimes we get people, and you could tell they have dementia or they have Alzheimer's, but they don't have the diagnosis. Mm-hmm. And so then they can't get the necessary funding that sometimes come along with that. So that is definitely the first step that you want to take, is get the necessary funding. And I would say
the evaluation.
The necessary evaluation by the physician, so you can get the necessary funding. And then I was going to say the second step I would say would be start making the home safe. Doing some things to start making the home safe. We kind of talked about last time we were here, we were talking about, we went into somebody's home and they had, chain, what do you call that? The chain locks on,
deadbolts.
That's not making it safe. That's probably just the opposite. But you do want to take measures to make the home safe. We have a question.
Hi, Kristen. Yes. Kristen says, what specialist should you contact?
You can just go to their medical physician, whoever their medical physician is, and they should be able to do that test.
Medical, and they can also go to a neurologist.
That too.
Also, and get that diagnosis as well. So either or.
That's true.
So in educating yourself, so you want to make sure you safety proof the home, want to make sure you tap into community resources. Maybe it's a support group, it's an Alzheimer's group. So you want to get information. You want to be able to tap into local resources, national, state resources. So again, you want to educate yourself.
That's number 3.
Oh, well, I jumped the gun.
Well, keep jumping. Keep going. You're doing good. I was going to back you up.
Oh, see, she keeps me straight. She's my big sister, so she always keeps me straight, right? So do you want to, was there anything else you want to do on step 2?
No. So let's just recap. So step 1 is medical physician, or get a medical evaluation to get the proper diagnosis. Number 2 is make the home safe. And you just brought it on in and said, get educated. And that education will tell you some of the things that you need to do to be able to make your home safe. But most importantly, to be able to deal with some of those behaviors that they may exhibit, because mom and dad may not be mom and dad anymore. And that is a hard pill to swallow. And I was just talking to some caregivers today in our training. I was saying, if you don't have the necessary patience and the education to deal with someone with Alzheimer's and dementia, it can, it can turn out to be bad, because what we know is, one, you need to tell them what you're doing before you're doing it. That's one thing. And two, sometimes they can't communicate anymore like they used to. Mm-hmm. And they can be in pain, but you go to pick them up with the arm, you want to take them somewhere, and it might turn into you get hit in the lip or something like that. And it's not that they're trying to be combative, or that's their way of they don't know how to communicate, and it may turn into something like that. So most importantly is get educated, so you can learn how to deal with some of those behaviors and things that have come your way.
Oh yeah. And then, like you said, once you're educated, you would know how to handle them. You would know what to look for. You look for signs and symptoms that could exacerbate those behaviors. So, if they have a UTI or something, that could cause it to heighten in their behavior. So you just want to be aware of things that you can look for as the caregiver. And so also to be prepared for, like, what do you call it? Sundowners. If you didn't know that term, you didn't know what it was all about, you didn't know that, in the evening, they just become more alert. They come more, busy, and they just into things. And you could just think, I don't know, it's a behavior, it's something not right, but it's a term for that. And it's ways that you can combat that and treat that and help them cope with that. And so again, it's education. That's
correct. And then the fourth one is then go ahead and start planning. We're big. That is our whole platform, is we want to make sure that our community knows you need to do some planning. Well, this is definitely a time to start planning, because it's going to be stages. She may be, him or her may be able to stay home for a while, and then it may not be safe anymore. Then where do you go next? And then it may not be time for a full-on memory support unit, but it may be time for some type of unit with some security, some locks and things on the door that's more safe, right? That allows them to wander or pace and things like that. And then it may get even worse. It can go to another stage. They can be combative, and they can't stay in that particular place they were. So our point is, you want to start planning. This is where mom and dad may needs to go next. You already have that discussion with them, but you want to go ahead and start planning so nothing takes you by surprise.
Yeah, and I think this is going to lead us into our next thing that we're going to talk about. That in planning, you need to plan financially. Start making those financial decisions. Shonda already talked about the healthcare decisions, and then legal decisions. And so it's just a lot that you have to take in, put in place to be able to handle an individual that's no longer competent to make those decisions on their own. So not only do you have to, look at healthcare facilities, but you need to think about the financial planning to get them into that place, how you're going to pay for it long term, and how you're going to make legal medical decisions on their behalf.
So the first legal step, as Jessica already mentioned, is to establish a power of attorney for finances in healthcare. You want to be able to legally be in control of those things so that you can make decisions and better take care of your loved one. You don't want to wait till after the fact. That's probably step number one. So that is a established power of attorney for finances and healthcare, if that has not been done. Number two, are you going to add to that?
Go ahead.
Add to that.
Well, I just wanted to say, planning is everything. We see individuals come and they need to make healthcare decisions. They need to make financial decisions. And when they get to a place where they are not legally responsible or legally able to act on that person's behalf, then that's a roadblock. It could be a roadblock. It can be it can stop a lot of things. So listen, if you see the signs, get the evaluation, and then go ahead. If they're in the first stage, more than likely it's only going to progress, right? And so you need to go ahead and take action.
Go ahead and get those legal steps and get those legal things taken care of. And then number 2, which is going to be our final tip for tonight as far as legal steps, is the advance directives. That includes your living will, your trust, designating beneficiaries,
DNR.
All those things. You said DNR, if that's what's wanted. So yes, living will and trust.
Yeah. So, we never want to have these conversations. We never want to talk about this, but this is how you get to carry out your loved one's wishes. You don't have to assume this is what they want. I talked to my mom 20 years ago and we had a side conversation and she didn't talk to all the other kids, siblings. And so now this prevents all kind of issues, confrontations that may come up. And because you all didn't have this conversation out in the open and together, they said it only to one person, and somebody said, well, no, I thought she wanted this. This negates all of that.
And then it's legally documented.
Yes. It is very hard. Hold on. It is, it's hard, but it's necessary. We've actually already did our all of our legal things, and it's very hard questions that you have to answer. You have to think about things that you really don't want to think about at this point, but it's necessary. And so, because I know that I don't want to leave the weight on someone else to make decisions, at that point for me. I want to make sure that even when I'm not able to make the decisions, that still the things that I wish are being carried out. And so you just want that for your loved one. And so we just encourage you to go ahead and do the legal things that need to be done.
That's right. That's right. So let's recap. So our tips on tonight, when it's time to take action, is first thing, get that medical evaluation. 2, get some education around the diagnosis and how to deal with it, how to cope yourself. Support groups are great. 3 is creating a safe environment for your loved one. And 4, to start the planning. Start the planning of where mom and dad may need to go next. And then the legal steps is 1, establish a power of attorney of finance and healthcare, and 2, your advance directives.
Yes. All right, so that is the recap. So please comment below in the comments, ask questions. Viewers, we're back. We're back. Sorry about that, some technical difficulty, but we are back.
Yeah.
So we had did the recap, wanted to make sure that, if you have any additional questions, please put them in the chat. Also, Whitney, if you'll drop the link for us for we have a planning guide to help you with the steps and asking questions for long-term care. So we'll drop that. So please download that. And when you download it, click done in the chat so we can know that you have done it and it's beneficial.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. We apologize for the interruption. We're in Tifton today, so we're not in our studio, but we had to make it work. So anyway, we pivoted and got right back on. So we apologize for that. But anyway.
So I always thank you for joining us, and we will see you next Monday, 6 p.m. live on the Green Table Live Talk Show. Thank you and good night.
See you next week.